spaghetti.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hi everybody! Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. Sophia, stop looking at me that way. Anyway, today we're going to be doing a James Charles makeup. Oh, we're going to retry that. James Charles palette and brush review while doing a story time. And
I'm gonna watch and judge.
Yes, and I also have my friend Sophia here, who was here. She was with me when this story was happening, and it's a long one. And she knows good details and can probably correct me if I say stuff wrong, hopefully. So if I'm looking over there, that just means I'm looking at Sophia's judgy look at me. So that's fun. Oh no, I left this open this morning. Be fine. No, I do the makeup.
I just watch.
Yeah. Good. That's how it should be.
Whoa, no. Whoa. Bippity boppity, you are my property. You back it up, girl.
Oof. So, we're just going to start off with moisturizing while Sophia is over here watching me. Hi, Sophia. Oh, I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating face primer because I'm all out of the poreless stuff, and so was the store. So that's how my day's going. And I'm going to be using the Revlon Stick Foundation in shade 130 because we pasty. Yeah. Yeah, they both have girlfriends.
Oh, alright.
Fuck.
Neat.
Don't want to go grab it.
I regret the spaghetti.
Regretty the spaghetti. Me when the rival makeup gangs come at me, like, fight me. Come at me. I don't know. Eyebrows is a lengthy process, so we'll start telling the story. Okay, so I am in 8th grade, if you didn't watch my whole first video, which I don't blame you if you did. It was kind of a long one. Not really, but it was long for a lot of people, so if you didn't watch that, I don't blame you. It's cool, it's whatever. Not salty. But you definitely might want to go like watch that for like 10 seconds just so I get your view. Just kidding. Just kidding!
Advertising what? Clickbait?
What? I'm in 8th grade right now, but this story happened in 5th and 6th grade because we will be explaining my emo phase. Yay!
Yay!
So I have to explain how I got to my emo phase, what happened in my emo phase, and how I got out of my emo phase. I got out of it because I decided no, you know?
Accident.
No, so... Oh, yeah, everyone thought I was a lesbian for a while, too, and then I was kind of like, no, I'm not. Sorry about it. Anyway, no, so this started off in 5th grade. We need fake names, Sophia, and we're not using Aunt or Jemima.
Oh, you got my hopes up. Regina, Gretchen, and Karen.
Yeah, that works.
That actually is, like, very fitting.
Totally. Yeah, okay. So, who's gonna be, my best friend at the time?
Regina.
What? No, because Regina will be
the other one.
The other one. So, Gretchen? Karen?
Gretchen. Do Gretchen.
Gretchen. Okay, so I was best friends with Gretchen. Whoa, my eyebrows are looking interesting. Anyway, I was best friends with Gretchen. And Gretchen and me had been best friends since like 3rd grade. She moved schools. That's a whole nother story. But she moved schools in 4th grade? Yeah, 4th grade. And she moved to another school in the district. It was kind of like anyone who lived in these neighborhoods moved over to this school because there wasn't enough space at the school we were at. And then we all joined back up in one big middle school. So this was like 4th grade, so it's still grade school. So me and Gretchen FaceTimed every day. We were still the bestest of friends, and like it was good. It was fine, and no one questioned it. It was whatever. And then when we all joined back up into a middle school, we all became this big friend group we called the Squad. Oh boy.
And nobody would let me in it.
Yeah, no one would let poor Sophia or Natalia in it. They're like my best friends now, so like it's cool.
All those Squad people anyway.
Yeah, I'm not friends with anyone in the Squad anymore, in case we'll get to that though. Yeah. I don't. Sophia, how do I fix my eyebrows? Best friends with this girl, Gretchen. And then we joined this Squad. Okay? No. Oh God! What should my boyfriend's name be?
Oh, the one I also liked.
Oh yeah, everyone liked him at one point, and it made me very angry because I was dating
Don't
him.
talk to me, so
What?
you know what? He didn't ignore me like everyone else did when they found out I liked them. So
I mean, yeah, because he was nice. He was a nice person then. He does some questionable things now.
it's Aaron.
Oh no. Okay, yep. So basically, Aaron was my boyfriend at the time. That was my first somewhat real relationship. Yes, we were in 5th grade. Yes, I consider that a somewhat real relationship. Because I'm sad, pathetic human. I had liked Aaron, and then I told Gretchen I liked Aaron. And Gretchen and Aaron were friends. And so Gretchen did what every 5th grader did and was like, I'm gonna ask him out for you. And I was like, smart. And so,
Good thinking.
good thinking, you know? So I was like, smart. And, so that's what happened. At first, Aaron said yes. And then I was ecstatic. I was so happy. And then lunch happened. And this kid who I had a thing with prior, it wouldn't even be,
Wait.
it wouldn't even be considered a thing.
Oh, wait, is that the one I liked afterwards in 6th grade?
Yeah. It wouldn't even be considered a thing. No, it wasn't even a thing. But he didn't like me. Let's just put it that way. He didn't like me very much. He convinced Aaron to say, like, no, don't date her. And then I got sad because then he said no. But then he said yes again. And then it was a confusing time. And then
I met you like a couple days after we broke up with said 6th grade crush of mine, who we'll call Baloney.
yeah,
Because
okay.
That's what my hopes and dreams were.
So Baloney had convinced him to say no, but then he said yes again because he felt bad for me because I was sad.
Baloney told one of a mutual acquaintance that I sat next to, because I also kind of sat close to Baloney, and he told that mutual acquaintance to go break up with her.
Oh yeah.
And I was sitting there and I was like,
Yeah.
We weren't friends yet.
No, we weren't. But that was like, it was fine because like I didn't really care that much, wasn't that attached, didn't. He said yes, and then we started dating, and it was nice. It was cool, it was whatever. It was kind of like a 5th grade relationship. We just talked and texted and FaceTimed. We didn't really hang out outside of school until later in the relationship. But then we ended up forming this Squad. So it was Gretchen, me, another girl, and another guy. It was only the 4 of us, right? We can say his name, Nick. But he was in and out. Like, we accepted him, and then we were like, nah, G, you're not a part of this anymore. And then we accepted him again, and then we were like, nah.
And then it was cross country boy.
Oh!
Gretchen.
Yes, okay, so then it was Cross Country Boy, who dated Gretchen. He's nice, I'm still friends with him. Oh, yeah, and now emo, but that's not nice. And now...
We were all emo, so it's fair. We'll call her Jem.
We'll call her Jem.
Yeah, call her Jem.
So then there was Jem.
We
And
were all emo, so it's fair. All is fair.
all is fair, yeah. We formed this, what we called the Squad. apparently everyone was afraid of the squad. I was a bitch in 5th grade. Everyone knows this. And when I say I was a bitch in 5th grade, I mean I was a bitch in 5th grade. Like, stone cold, like, fucking bitch. Like, I don't know why Aaron dated me. I don't know why he got, like, so attached to me, because I was a fucking a-hole. A-hole. Grade A a-hole.
And at the point of you two dating, after the first dance situation, we were friends.
Yeah, so then me and Sophia became friends.
Just mutually over, like, a project or something.
Yeah.
You and Aaron are together at this point. The squad is formed. I'm desperately trying to get in the squad, but it's not working.
The squad was like the popular people. Like, I talked to someone today who we thought were the popular people, and they were even like, no, we were afraid of the squad. And I was like, dang. And it was mainly because of me and Gretchen. Because Gretchen had popularity. I had popularity because I was friends with Gretchen, and I was a bitch. So
I kind of made my way up the social ladder by the time we got to 6th grade.
right. I was just a bitch. And then 5th grade ended, and it was like, whatever. Squad was still a thing. It was fine. And then 6th...
It wasn't until the summer of it, I think, that shit started going down.
Right. And then the beginning of, like, the summer before 6th grade. Everything was good. Everything was cute. It was going fine. And then me being the smart person I was started to have self-confidence issues. Like, and, I was like, oh my god, Aaron is too good for me. These being my very smart 6th grade thoughts. Aaron's too good for me. I can't date him anymore. And so, when I was lying to people, I had to think of stupid shit. I had to be like, it's just not there anymore, you know? Like, the connection's just not there. I just don't like him anymore. Like, he repulses me. And, like, I just had...
Whoa!
No, I literally said these things.
Okay, I found out about this 5 months or something after it happened.
Yeah. Sophia was, like, left in the dark.
I was talking to Natalia most of that summer, to be fair.
Yeah. Anyway, so I did a smart thing, and I made Gretchen break up with him for me, because I was a smart person. And I got upset phone calls, I got upset text messages, and
There was that upset musically that I saw.
Okay, yeah, people were really bitter. It was bad. I felt awful because at the time I was like, this needed to be done. I thought I was doing the right thing. I was like, it needed to be done. Like, I would have ruined Aaron. Like, I would have ruined him as a person. Like,
Natalia telling her she's a fucking idiot. Moving on.
Yes! And then 6th grade rolled around. And squad was still kind of friends. I avoided Aaron like the plague. Because if I saw Aaron, I got really upset. And it made me feel sad.
We were very separated from Aaron by the time we
Right. Aaron was on a completely different team because our school separated into teams. So, Aaron was like, you know...
You never saw him.
I never saw him, no. I felt really bad. I had heard about things from other people I had become friends with. And from Gretchen.
Lil Jose, that was a fling in 6th grade.
Little Jose, is that what we're gonna call him? Okay.
Yeah.
And I was very distraught over Aaron. And I was like, I will date Little Jose. And Little Jose was sweet. He was nice. He was a good little fling I had. But then...
We hid from him at a dance.
Yeah, we hid from him at a dance, which wasn't the nicest thing we did. I feel bad for Little Jose. My parents were like, poor Little Jose, and I was like, I know. Anyway.
Every time you say Lil Jose, it's getting to me.
No, so I still heard things about Aaron from, like, Gretchen. And now we are introduced to Regina. I was introduced to Regina a little bit into 5th grade. She was one of...
Don't forget cousin Karen.
Oh, yes, and cousin Karen. So Regina and Karen were cousins. And I didn't really talk to Karen all that much, but, like, I knew of her because she was cousins with Regina. I feel really bad for saying these names because, like, I don't have an issue with these people anymore, and it makes them sound like evil. At the time, in my brain, they were evil. Well,
Right now,
after this happened.
Creativity. I'm doing my language arts homework.
Right.
So, no hate towards these people because they're gonna know who they are.
Right. So if these people do watch this video, which they might not, they will know who they are. I'm not meaning anything maliciously. No malicious intent. I don't mean it maliciously.
Y'all don't remember me anyway, so.
Yeah, y'all don't remember me anyway, so it's all good. But basically, I was still somewhat popular, but I was very upset over the Aaron thing, and I started to become a little emo. And by emo, I just mean depressed all the time, wearing darker colors. My eyeliner was horrendous. I will insert a musically somewhere into here of what I looked like at the time.
All right, there's something truly magnificent about being sad, and that is that everyone can be sad. Some people are sad sometimes, other people are sad all the time, and this is just a song about being sad. Whoop-de-doo, let's get to it!
I had short hair. Oh my god, it was just bad. It was a bad time.
It was very fried from a lot of hair dye. This was around the same time I was getting blue in my hair.
Right. Everyone, this was the hair dye situation. So this was, I cut my hair because it was fried and from all the dye and stuff.
We had a terrible language arts teacher.
Yeah.
And the more that I think about it, 6th grade was a lot of drama. And I would just like to throw in that the whole Aaron situation, you didn't get over that for a very long time.
I didn't get over that until beginning of 7th grade.
Yeah, like this year, last year. Not this year.
Until I met my current boyfriend and I was sort of like, oh my god, I am stupid. And I'm stupido. And so I was like, I'm stupido, nothing's ever gonna be the same, just fucking get over it. And then I got over it. And it was pretty good. Pretty fresh. Me and Gretchen, I was obviously upset about Aaron. I got a little emo. I wasn't fully emo yet. I was just kind of a little emo, but I was still friends with Gretchen. And then I went over one night for a sleepover with Gretchen. And, oh, by the way, this is my side of the story. This is how I remember it. I mean, no offense to the people if they're watching this and they think, like, no one knows who you are unless you're the one watching it, or I've told the story to someone, or you've told the story to someone. But anyway, so I went over to a sleepover with Gretchen and Jem. And it was kind of like a reuniting of the old squad, but just like the girls of it. And basically,
it was bigger than that, didn't it?
Yeah. So, but anyway, Gretchen, it was her birthday party, I believe, or her birthday sleepover. I don't know. Regina was really good friends. They were like best friends. Gretchen and Regina were best friends. I was best friends with Gretchen.
And Karen was always kind of where Regina was.
Right. Karen was always like kind of where Regina was because they lived right next door to each other and they were cousins. Anyway, dating little, what are we calling him?
Little Jose.
Little Jose at the time. And little Jose, okay, little Jose went to the pre-party at a farm place that we went for her birthday, and we hung out there. And then later I FaceTimed little Jose, and we felt bad because Regina couldn't come to Gretchen's.
You almost slipped.
I almost slipped to Gretchen's birthday party because she had something else that happened, and it was, I don't know, I just don't remember. I don't remember those details. I just remember she couldn't go and we felt bad, so we FaceTimed her, and I was already FaceTiming little Jose. And then it was like she picked up the phone, and let me preface some things. So prior to this, I had barely ever talked to Regina. I'd had a couple conversations with her. I had complimented her more than I had actually had a conversation with her. Sophia knows this. And the only bad thing I remember saying to Gretchen about Regina was that she always mentioned Aaron in front of me, because that's just what it felt like. Because anytime someone mentioned Aaron, it was like a stab to me, and it was painful, and I hated when someone mentioned Aaron to me. And so I was like...
Now, weren't you hurt prior to the sleepover when you were at the farm place?
Hurt how?
Didn't you get hit in the head or something?
Yeah. So I was also
that was
like...
a big deal.
I was also injured. Because I got hit in the head, and I'm, like, severely allergic to farm places, and, like, to hay. I have hay fever, and I didn't take any allergy medication, so my head was pounding. I didn't have that good of a time at the hay place, because I was just dying, it felt like. And,
Dying puts people in an already bad mood.
Right. So, I remember being, like, to Gretchen, like, I just feel like she always brings up Aaron in front of me. And I was like, I don't remember the tone I said it in. It could have been malicious. It could have sounded, I was a bitch at the time. So I do not remember what tone I said it in. But I know Gretchen told Regina this. Because when we FaceTimed Regina, as soon as Regina heard my voice, she was like, she hung up. At first, I thought it was little Jose. And then we called her back, and she didn't pick up, and she was like, you know I'm mad at Katie. And Gretchen was like, you're like, what? You're mad at Katie? And I'm not sure if she knew she was mad at me, or she was just kind of like trying to pretend like she didn't know, you know? And I was like, okay, what? And then... blah, bitty, blah, blah. Regina called me names, and I was, like, very offended, very hurt, and I didn't quite understand, and...
Why?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand why, and then later we found out it was because, Gretchen had told Regina this, and I was like... oh. And now Regina took it very offensively. She was like, she's awful, she's whatever. She was angry. She was very angry. And she used a lot more mean names than awful, let's put it that way. A lot more ranting than that. And I was offended, obviously. And basically, I was just sitting there kind of like shocked because I didn't know why. And also apparently someone had told Regina I had called her a wannabe. I didn't. This was the one thing I know I did not do. I did not call her a wannabe or whatever, because apparently in 6th grade that was a big thing. Like, if you called someone a wannabe, it was like such a bad insult or something. And
I would like to point out, also, the day this party happened, I was home alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not home alone, my family's there, but like I wasn't doing anything.
Right.
And I was really bored, and I was an avid Musical.ly person, user.
So was I. It's okay.
And I put on there, like, oh, I'm so bored. Can anybody hang out? Everybody was at Gretchen's party.
Right.
And when because Natalia was there too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was there.
Both of you said, well, oh, why didn't you go to Gretchen's party? She said you were invited. And I was like, she never invited me.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad. I don't hold a grudge about that, but that was definitely on purpose. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, she had said she invited you, and you don't remember being invited, so I was like...
Don't remember. I know for a fact I wasn't invited just because of how bored I was, and I always go to almost every party I get invited to.
Right. So then we were like, okay. And then, yeah, a lot of ranting later. Wannabe wasn't even in my vocabulary. Like, I've never called once someone, like, a wannabe. Not once.
That's such a weird thing to say.
I know. Like, the only mean thing I'd ever said about her was that she talked about Aaron a lot in front of me, which she did. She'd be like, we almost went to Aaron's football game this weekend, or Aaron this, Aaron that. Just anytime someone mentioned Aaron, it felt like a lot because it was like, obviously, I was upset about it. Anyway, so I was sort of like, okay. And the whole time, Gretchen didn't really defend me, which I don't blame her because, like, she was friends with both of us, and if I was in her situation, I wouldn't really know what to do either. But it was clear that a lot of shit-talking was happening. Whether it was Gretchen shit-talking me, Regina shit-talking me, me shit-talking people. Like, I don't really remember all of it, but it was a big shit-talking time period in a lot of people's lives.
I don't refresh my memory. Did you stay the night there still?
Yes, I did.
But didn't something happen with Jen?
Yes, I think so. Jem was just kind of along for the ride. Jem was there, and she was like, at one point...
I don't hold a grudge against Jem, personally, because I don't talk to any of them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But Jem definitely fell out with all of us when this happened because of how Jem reacted.
I don't remember how Jem reacted.
It wasn't very poorly, but, like, the way things were talked about afterwards with Jem, we all backed out of.
Yeah, because Jem dated Aaron.
Did Jem really?
Yeah. Jem
Oh,
dated
yeah,
Aaron for a while. And, like, me being the petty little bitch I was like, offended. But that was already...
I like Jem for other reasons.
That was when I already wasn't friends with Jem, so it didn't really... I mean, it affected me because of the whole Aaron thing, but it didn't really affect me with me and Jem's relationship. But at the time, it's not about Jem at the moment. But, like, she didn't really... I do remember some of the messages, and I will say them. So, I remember it was like 1 a.m., and Regina had finally ranted about me to Gretchen. And Gretchen was, like, hesitant to show me the messages, and I was like, show me the messages. Like, it's fine, I won't take it personally. I took it personally, but I was like, I won't take it
very personally.
I took it very personally, but I was like, I won't take it personally. And she was like, okay. And so she showed me the messages. And it was like, she is and I still remember this because I still have some inside jokes about it, about just the first phrase. She is a ratchet bitch from hell.
I loved that one.
Yeah. So me and my friends still sometimes say ratchet bitch from hell just because it's kind of like an inside joke now. We're not like trying to be offensive. We're not trying to be rude towards anyone, but it's just like an inside joke now. And, I guess it's time to start in the eyes. Basically, I was like, she was like, you're a ratchet bitch from hell. You probably forced your boyfriend to date you, which was Little Jose at the time. And Little Jose was one of the only boyfriends that had asked me out, so I didn't know exactly how that worked, if I had forced him to ask me out or something, you know. Weird like that. But she said, like...
I'm still painfully single at this point.
And so and then sent, of course, after this whole, like, long paragraph, she had sent laughing face emojis after it, and I was like, okay. And I took it very personally. The whole night I was like, no, because I'm just this ratchet bitch from hell. This, that, and the other. And, no, you're not. Jem was, like, very, like, no, you're not. Oh, my goodness, stop. This, that, and the other. You know, a bunch of stuff like that. Yada, yada, blah, blah. And so I was like, I took much offense to this. And then the next day, they were like, you know, what? It was like 11. I was going at like 12 or 1 or something. And she gets a text message from Regina to Gretchen being like, hey, can you FaceTime? And she was like, sure, but Katie's still over. And then Regina was like, ugh, when is that slut gonna leave? And I was like, what the fuck? What did I still don't know to this day what she thinks I did. Because
As
I...
a result of this, me and Natalia, well, Natalia is a people pleaser, and she'll tell you that herself.
Yeah.
I am not, and Katie will tell you that.
Yeah.
And I'm very, like, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Right.
And as a result of this, me and Natalia, because I got Natalia to do it because I couldn't go in alone, not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not the proper way to react to this. And this, I don't regret it, but, like, I shouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
I went in, and being the avid muser I started shit on Musical.ly with both Karen and Regina.
Yes, she did this.
And I don't have anything against Jem now, because I don't talk to Jem now. But
Right.
Jem, I already didn't like. So it's like, Jem could talk to the hand, Karen and Regina are gonna get, I'm just gonna slam them on Musical.ly. And then Gretchen, I was holding a grudge against for not being the protective friend I was.
Right.
But now you may continue.
Right. So then I was sort of like very confused on everything that was happening. And I didn't really know what was happening. Should I go for a sunset look?
Sure. Also, Natalia is still friends with Gretchen, I think.
Yeah, they're not as close as they used to be, but because in 7th grade they kind of like stopped being close friends, I think. I don't.
In 6th grade, they were close at the time too, so you could imagine this is driving a wedge between different friend groups,
Right.
like majorly.
Right. I'm gonna do the cut crease with the red. But so basically, I was very hurt by all of this, and then to top it all off, I could not confront Regina because Gretchen was like, "Hey, what would have happened if I was telling Katie about this the whole time?" And Regina was like, "I wouldn't be your friend anymore." And I was like, "Oh." And so I promised Gretchen I would not talk to Regina about anything that was happening.
Which pissed me off tenfold.
Oh yeah, it pissed Sophia off very much so. And no, so I promised I would not talk to Regina about anything, about how hurt I was. So for the next month or two, I had to pretend I didn't know anything. A little later that day after the sleepover, she did be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I acted untrue, like I acted rude. I shouldn't have said those things about Katie or whatever," which is good, like that she apologized, but at the same time, like you can't go from saying, right, it was like you can't go from saying like, "Wretched bitch from hell, she's a skank, she's a slut, she's a bitch," to all of a sudden being like, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said those things." And I was like, so, I don't know. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, you know what? We're just gonna go with it. So I just pretended I didn't know anything. I pretended I was oblivious, and I didn't know shit. But this is what kind of drove a little bit of a wedge between me and Gretchen. Just a little bit. And then...
This is the start of many.
Right. And then one day, I was feeling bad for myself because that was the phase I was in. I was in the emo phase. I hated life. Basically, it was like bad time, you know? And so I was like feeling bad for myself. I was like, I wonder out of all of my friends, if I didn't talk to them, who would talk to me? Oh God, that's uneven. Who would talk to me first, you know? Like, if I didn't talk, where did the fucking red come from? Hello? If I didn't talk to any of my friends, who would talk to me first? It's pretty, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like.
And I was the least risk factory because I didn't like most of these people already.
Right, so everyone talked to me except Gretchen. And then Gretchen continued to not talk to me for a month or two. And I was like, oh. She had sent maybe 1 or 2 text messages, but like we never FaceTime, we never had a conversation. It wasn't like anything like that. It was like pretty much straight up ignored. And then I've heard different stories. I've heard that she thought I was ignoring her, so she wasn't talking to me. I don't really know what was happening. But I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I didn't exactly know what was happening. And I just assumed after a good amount of time that she hated me. I was like, she hates me. Like, yeah. And so I told my lunch table this. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she hates me.
Oh, my pizza every day.
I was like, I'm pretty sure she hates me. And they were like, no, she doesn't hate me, because this one girl who sat across the table who was friends with Gretchen was like, she doesn't hate you. What are you talking about? This is that and the other. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure she hates me. Like, honestly, she doesn't talk to me anymore.
What was that, actually?
I'll have to edit it out. But no, so this girl was like, no, she doesn't.
We will call them Lemon.
Okay, yeah. Lemon was like, she doesn't hate you. And I was like, but it just seemed like it. And so I like continued to say, I was like, she hates me. And then.
And I did not like Lemon.
Anyway, I was like, yeah, she hates me. And then everyone was like, she doesn't hate you. Stop saying that. Like, oh my God. And then one day, I talked about Gretchen with a Y. So there was Gretchen with a Y, who was like someone I was still friends with, like that had nothing to do with this story. And then let's say there's Gretchen with a Z. Gretchen with the Z is the one I was best friends with, and that this whole story's about. So I was talking about Gretchen with a Y. And then one of the girls across the table was like, why don't you ever talk about Gretchen with a Z anymore? And I was like, I don't know. We just don't talk that much anymore, honestly. And she was like, oh, okay. And then
that couldn't not be taken out of context.
I don't know if it was taken out of context. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said to who. I really don't know. Because then I get a text later from Gretchen with a Y. This is like, I won't be mentioning Gretchen with a Z anymore. It'll just be Gretchen. So Gretchen texted me. And she was like, I hear what you've been saying about me at lunch. And that's really offensive. If you want to talk crap about me, say it to my face. Like, she was like, say it to my face, like, you know, you shouldn't be talking crap about me behind my back. And me being very confused, I explained what I had said, and she didn't believe me, of course. And so I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It was like a whole long argument. And then we weren't friends anymore after this. After this whole argument. I mean, our friendship kind of ended a while prior to that. But
like, formally ended after that.
Yeah, it formally ended after this confrontation. And I was obviously upset about it. It affected me because when she stopped being my friend, I lost everyone and everything other than Natalie and Sophia and Abby. And I lost all my friends. All of them.
Squad was pretty much dead except for a few of the core members.
Yeah, Squad was dead. No one from Squad anymore talked to me. No one from my original friend group talked to me. And I didn't talk to any of them. Like, I was like shunned, pretty much. I lost all my popularity because I was only popular because of Gretchen. And Gretchen and Regina continued to be friends. And they would talk crap about me, which was known. Lots of beef was started. And that's when it sent me pretty much into a spiral. Because I didn't have Aaron anymore. I wasn't friends with my best friend I had known from 3rd grade anymore. My reputation was completely ruined. At one point, everyone thought I was a lesbian. And
everyone thought that about somebody else. Everybody still thinks that about me.
Everyone thought I was a lesbian. But then everyone just started this rumor that I was dating this girl. And I was like, fuck. And I'm like, I'm not dating this girl. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay. At all. You do you, honey. Like, if you, like, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. At all. Like, but the matter of that people were using it in a negative way towards me, and they were being rude, and people would physically avoid me in the halls and not talk to me because I thought I was gay. Because I go to a very homophobic school, and I don't agree with it, but I have to deal. So usually when I hear someone talking about this, I either stand up and I'd be like, hey, that's not right, or I just put a pair of headphones and I don't listen because I can't have a civilized conversation with people like this. And when I try to, I get angry, yeah. And so
it was just I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no, it's okay.
It was just a disaster because like the whole squad thing, they have distanced themselves. Some of them will come back to talk to Katie, but they've distanced themselves at the moment.
Mhm.
Me and Natalia are still friends with Katie. I have some old friends that I'm still talking to, but at this time I was pretty lonely.
Right.
Place, whatever. I don't care what you do with that.
She had moved from the school.
And like I moved away, so I'm still going there for that year. I switched schools the next year, but you know I was already kind of isolated, and I had a couple friends, but mainly it was Natalia and Katie. Like those were the people that I would go out of my way to talk to.
Mhm.
Because at this point I lost Gabby, who was a friend of a couple years, and I lost Cameron. I didn't lose her. I still talk to her now, but we weren't talking at the time because she was kind of friends with Regina and stuff.
Right.
And I was not a part of that scene. I didn't like that scene. So, mainly it was Natalia and Katie. So, like, us three have each other, and Natalia has Gretchen, actually.
Yeah, Natalia was still friends with Gretchen and everything.
But for the sake of us, she didn't break her up very often.
Right.
And, you know, so we have this disaster of a friend group going on. We have drama circling for other people, and then we have drama coming back to bite us.
Right.
At this point, I was kind of like Kate Sarah. I had made up with Regina and Karen, except Karen was very not happy that I ever started anything.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very headstrong, so I wasn't like, I'm gonna have the last word, honey. It was just a mess.
It was a mess, yeah. And then I lost my whole friend group. I was pretty much alone other than Natalia and Sophia. I was super depressed. I hated life. I hated breathing. I hated everything.
I actually couldn't breathe. Asthma.
No, but I literally hated everything.
So as you can imagine, like,
it wasn't a good time for me. Like, it wasn't fun. No one was nice to me. People would still be civilized to me. It's not like they were like, fuck you, or whatever. You know, it's not like they'd be, like, super bitchy to my face. But, like, when I wasn't around, it was clear that shit was said about me. So we're gonna do this from farther away this time. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. James Charles palette, 9 out of 10. Completely agree with him. Don't use the concealers, change the colors, don't blend very well. Brush set. The brush set's absolutely fantastic. I love the brush set. No problems there whatsoever. They shed a little bit of hair, but you'll get that with any brush. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more of my 4.5, subscribe and like down below. And comment down below if you have any of the James products and what you think of them. And comment down below how you liked the story. That's it for this upload, considering I don't upload consistently. Sorry about that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.